Brian Lara. Wow, wow, wow. Bat for your life, Sachin Tendulkar, but when the guy Brian Lara was on form.
In the 30s to fine leg, and he could do all of that with just beautiful use of the feet, position of the head, use of the hands. Brian Lara had a lot of game.
And that's going all the way, vintage Lara. He just flicked it.
Many people will talk about the flashing blade, the cover drives, the pull on one leg, but it was his stance as much as anything. The raised bat as the bowler came steaming in saying, I'm ready to fight, and I know exactly what delivery you're about to bowl.
He's going to smack you all over the park. He's got 2 shots for every ball now. He's going. That's why he's a great player. I mean, he just moved away and smacked it.
Lara saved his best for South Africa. He broke South Africa hearts on 2 occasions in the World Cup and 2 memorable centuries. The first of them in Pakistan.
Lara can only get 1. Oh, he's taking 2. And he's got there.
And he's made it. And that's a most magnificent 100. Brian Lara showing the world just what a fine player he really is.
Brian Lara's second 100 against South Africa, his first 100 in World Cup cricket. Can you believe it?
When you come up against Brian Lara, he was one of the few individuals that could win a game on his own. But I guess South Africa quarter-final, you lose one, the pressure starts to build. But when you get beaten by Brian Lara, I'm afraid that just happens.
The worst of them, if you're a South Africa fan, the very first match of the 2003 World Cup, when Lara, with a score 7 for 2, took on the likes of Ntini, Pollock, Donald, Callis, and cut and drove them to all parts.
1, 2, 3.
Driven through extra cover with power from Lara. Callis not pleased, but no bowler is.
In the air, Rhodes leaps, but he's not tall enough, and that's smashed into the boundary boards.
Well, once again, it's the fly into the spider's web.
And there it is. Brian Lara puts his signature immediately on the 2003 World Cup. And not only West Indians in the crowd, but everyone around this Newland Stadium standing to a man and appreciating what has been a tremendous innings, a vital innings for the West Indies from a tremendous batsman.
At the time when Brian was at his absolute peak, those around him perhaps weren't. And there is a lot of expectation on all West Indian cricketers to live up to what has gone on with the great names and what they've achieved in the past. Lara was a great, is a great, but a great on his own. If you look at the great West Indies side that won those World Cups, the names rattle off, I'm not going to go through them, but they were backed up. They had people around them that could touch at times their genius. Lara had none of that. It was all about him. And the expectations on Brian to deliver must have been overbearing, must have been immense. But I imagine it is more under the microscope, more intense when there is a World Cup or a Champions Trophy on the line. And I think Lara suffered basically from being such the focal point of West Indies that the pressure on him must have been astronomical.
For the last time in international cricket, one of the great batsmen of the world, Brian Charles Lara, takes centre stage. The lad born in Trinidad, who holds nearly all the records in international cricket, the highest first-class score, the highest test score, the highest runs in an over in test cricket. One of the finest batsmen you'll ever want to see arrives in the middle of the Kensington Oval. The England boys give him a guard of honour. They clap him through the middle, and he deserves it. Fantastic scenes for a fantastic player.
Brian Lara was the pre-eminent batsman of his generation. People tend to group batsmen together. They put probably Kane Williamson, Virat Kohli and Steve Smith at the moment. In the 90s, it was about Brian Lara, Sachin Tendulkar and Ricky Ponting. All 3 of them masters of their craft. But I think if you were going to pay some good money to go and watch somebody bat, Brian Lara's your man.
This is a moment. Picture it. One of the greatest batsmen ever to have graced the cricket fields. Not to be seen again on the international stage.
On his day, Brian Lara, the best player I've ever bowled at, by far, absolutely by far.
Everyone standing to a man and appreciating what a tremendous batsman.